Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the very first edition of Flyover Camp, Kansas City, Missouri. I hope you are all having a great time, learned some really good things which are useful, and would be having some great sessions today as well, which you could find potentially meaningful in your personal or professional work. Okay, let's gear up for a great day and an awesome weekend. Shall we start? Yes. Cool. There you go. My name is Ashish. It sounds similar to the drug called as hashish, but it has no correlation with that. Please do not connect it with that in any context. The meaning of this name is blessings. Now you can connect better with this name. I tweet, this is my Twitter handle. What I do? Well, I Drupal every day at AdWeb Solution. That's my baby. And a bit of about me, my fund of life. Passion excites me and the ignorance disappoints me. Passion in everything, any work that you do. Living in a healthy planet or anything. And what kind of ignorance that disappoints me is like anything related to human, animal or plants. Don't ignore those things. If you can do something good, let's do it. And fund of my life is live and let live. Okay, a quick disclaimer guys, before we start today's journey. I'm here to share our experiences and would encourage you all as well to share yours. Whether you guys have used any remote helping hands or have any perception, want to use but have some perceptions or misperceptions about them. So we are not questioning here any 9 to 5 traditional office work. We are just here to share our experiences. It's World Milk Day today, by the way, 1st June. So it's been celebrated since 2001, recognizing dairy industry's efforts in the economic growth of the world, supporting the families that are into this business. Lots of events are happening around the globe today, by the way, on this World Milk Day. Today's journey. Let's embark on today's journey. It's not about what is remote or how would you find the remote team. If someone of you would already have some remote team members for you, or if you yourself are a remote team member for an agency, and you would be making sure that how you can get most of that association. That is the core of today's journey. The takeaway would be, if you already have a remote team, probably you can improvise with the points that I'm going to share with my experience. Perhaps get some solution to your ongoing problems maybe, or at least a direction. And if you plan to have remote team, then let's clarify certain perceptions that are revolving around it. So maybe try to solve some mysterious questions, if any. Feel free to add any kind of pointers if I'm missing in sharing my experiences. Okay, we'll talk about the challenges behind the remote. We'll talk about why remote is needed. We'll talk about brief about the statistics. Internet is full of immense number of statistics that you can find about remote working. So we'll talk a quick brief about them. The core is how to get the most of it, which is do's and don'ts of the remote team members, and our experience. Let's get the journey begin. Challenges. If you have a look at this chart briefly, more or less, except this lack of direct communication, more or less every other factor is equally important challenge when it comes to collaborating with the remote team members, whether they are in your time zone or in any different time zone. Like lack of direct communication is one of the highest factored point in the research that come up with when you talk about challenges in the remote collaboration. Apart from that, there are like hindered data accessibility, poor visibility to the colleagues, and others. Now I like this others one. I did not research about the other ones, but based on my experience, the other ones could include missing the human touch, water cooler gossips, missing the collaborative and innovative work environment, or maybe you are working in a terrible work environment, and the last but not the least, the team member or the team members, they might feel isolated. That is what others could potentially comprise of based on our experience. So here are the core challenges of remote collaboration. Now let's look at the why. When there are so much of challenges which could potentially impact the deliverables of any business or project that you are into, then why do we still talk about remote helping hands? Well, the reasons or the answers to why could be many. Here are few of them. Because a company or an organization is falling short of skills, or they want to focus on a bigger part or the complex part of the project, which is like okay, this is something that we want to focus upon client and architectural part of the project, and we want some junior level or mid-level devs to get the needful hands dirty on the coding, so we can focus on the bigger picture, we can focus on the broader picture of the project. Tight timelines, we are running short of time and we really need something get off of it, because there are certain dependencies on the timelines, maybe some business event happening that they want to get it promoted, a mobile app or anything like that. Work overflow, that means my plate is full, but I'm still keep on getting the change request, I still keep on getting the numerous amount of tasks and tickets which are never ending. So that means I am not willingly overflowing that work, I'm not willingly taking more in my plate, but still it's keep on popping in my plate and I need some helping hands. Vacation or unavailability of any of the team member or team members. So, and if there is a critical delivery or if there is a planned delivery that is getting impacted due to vacation or unavailability of those team members, in that case I might require a remote helping hand. One of the good factors is that you want to retain the good resources. I mean, okay, you found a good resource, but he is not willing to come to office maybe once, maybe entire week, maybe once in a day is okay. So you need to do the needful arrangements to retain those level of good resource or resources. And increased engagement level. Now this is like if I want to engage with people in the right manner, the way they want it to be done, then I would like them to give the needful freedom so they can deliver the right thing at the right time. From business point of view, reduced cost of real estate is one of the core factor on why would I require a remote helping hand. One of the core factor. I'll talk more about it. And last, support work. That okay, we work in this time zone and we need support when there are off-peak hours as well. So we are not able to find the people who can work in night shift over here, but we can find someone who work in the different time zone and they can take over the support stuff from us. And so in day we are available, and in night those people are available, or that team member or team members are available. So here are few of the reasons that I believe could be the core reasons behind why of the remote helping hand. Now let's look at the remote working statistics behind the current scenario. Gallup, one of the leading agency in America, says that between 2012 to 2016 there is a 10% reduction in the number of people working from home for 1 day or less. In the same time period, there is a 10% increase in the number of people working from home for 4 days or more in a week. So people working from home getting lesser and lesser, and people working from home, the number is increasing higher and higher in the same survey done by Gallup between 2012 to 2016. CNBC, 2/3 of the global workforce would like to work remotely at least once every week, according to the recent survey from CNBC. 2/3, that's a big number. Now let's have a quick different questions about the kind of remote work that keeps popping up. Buffer, another great agency, and what they have to say. They have partnered with different brands like Hubstaff, Trello, and from different industries. They have done the survey for almost 2,500 people with an experience ranging from 6 months to 5+ years in varied industries like media, non-profit, or travel, other industries, as well as the different geographical locations. So different experiences, different industries, different geographical locations, survey done on approx 2,500 people about state of the remote work. Let's have a quick look at those questions on what they have done. Would you like to work remotely at least once sometime for rest of your career? Clearly a huge people mandate. 99% said yes. So it's clearly a people's mandate that yes, we would like to get an opportunity to work remotely at least once sometime in the rest of our career. Next interesting question. What is the biggest benefit you see to work remotely? Well, 40% say flexible work schedule. Now, there are some other aspects as well, but I'll mainly focus upon the 40%, which is very, very, very big number. From a person's perspective, the flexible schedule is what my biggest benefit. However, from a business owner's perspective, what benefit would they get? Think from that perspective as well, that okay, you want to work from home, that's your flexibility for work schedule, but what I as a business owner would get? Well, try to understand that having flexible schedule allows them to juggle between work, hobbies, and balance the work and life in a right manner. And when those people are doing this thing in a right manner, that means they would deliver results in a positive manner, reducing your cost with a peace of mind. So that is why this is 40% matters a lot from both point of views, whether a remote worker or an agency owner who want to allow the remote working. What is your company's stance on remote work? Well, few of them are full-time, and few of them are in the office, and few of them are in remote. So 40% business owners say this thing. 31% says everyone works remotely. Have a look at the numbers, and this is a recent report. It clearly shows that businesses are continuing to embrace at least some of the remote work, likely because they have experienced the benefits of greater productivity, less wastage time, and less overhead costs. Did you always intend to support remote work? Well, 91% say yes. Balancing both remote workers and in-office workers is a reality for more and more businesses, and it is more than the last year's report. It was 81% last year in 2018, which is now 91%. So it clearly shows that the trends are increasing. The acceptance is increasing about that. The reasons could be many that we'll talk about, but that we already talked about, in the why section, but it clearly shows that why it is being increasing. Okay, so quickly, I'm not a brand ambassador for the remote work, but I just displayed the trends that I have found on internet. And so far we have sneak peek into the remote working stats, right? Let's there are many surveys that you can identify on internet on what is happening in the remote working industry. So we took a quick sneak peek into that. I'm not here to promote anything, any remote work or anything like that, just bringing that collective piece of efforts at a centralized place for you guys to have a look and see how things are trending, how trends are being changing as the technology advances. Because as long as the work is getting delivered, that is what matters, no matter where you work from. Technology is helping us to get that done. Now, how we have seen that the trend has picked up. We have seen that it's something that works in the favor of people who want to work remotely, as well as the agency owners who want to hire people who want to work remotely. That is fine, that's half the battle. But how do I get most of those helping hands who are working not in my direct eyesight or not in line with the same office premises? I'm a little insecure as a business owner. I feel a little insecure as a business owner that would that person be productive enough? Would that person be doing justice with the productive hours? Would that person be delivering things the way I want them? Would that person be understanding the concept? Would that person be delivering the things right in the first manner, or would there be any problems? Now, why is fine. Let's have a look at the how. How do I get answers to all these skeptic questions that could eventually run in my mind? Well, don't rush. First of all, take your time to understand the importance of why, the importance of those surveys. Let's work out the how. I will now drive you through the aspects. I'll now walk you through the aspects that drives the success and failure. We'll walk you through now. Know their technical skills well. I'm just touching base on the core points and will explain in detail in the next set of slides. Know their technical skills well. Set the right process and ensure people follow those process. You work with human, have that humanitarian factor, no matter where the other team member is sitting at other part of the Skype or other part of the world. Communication, the core of the problem, the core of the solution. These are the core 4 points that I will revolve around in the next few points that I'm gonna describe on how. Before we delve deeper, let me talk about how would we go when we intend to hire someone to work from our office. Any pointers that anybody can provide? Let's say if you want to hire a guy who can work from your office, what steps would you take?
I mean, first phone interview, I guess.
Right.
Get them on the phone, and then ideally a in-person interview, and then potentially a technical interview after that.
Absolutely. Any other point that you would like to add? Maybe a background check verification?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's like you'll meet them in person, you'll provide them a technical round, meet them again, maybe a final face-to-face, negotiate, background check, and offer. So that's usually you will do when you hire someone who can work from your premises. That means you are validating their credentials. You are trying to know them as a technical guy, as a person. Could that person be potentially fit into my work culture? Would that be a right fit, or would that be a wrong fit? So you'll try to identify these basic aesthetics about that person. Now that comes to the very first point, technical skills. When I say technical skills, know their skills very well. Whether they are into front-end development, whether they are into back-end development, or whether they are into testing, whether they are into site building, or what they are good at. What are the points that you liked about them, that you would like to capitalize upon while hiring that person? Similarly, what you would do with an in-person interview. So know their technical skills well. Not just the current skills. Now, not just knowing the current skills, but do understand their past experience as well. What kind of stuff they have done in the past. So the technologies that they currently want to work or they have acquired knowledge about in the last few months might not be the right criteria to gauge a person's capability. So try to go a little bit in past, the kind of projects that they have delivered, the kind of work that they have delivered. When you know their capability and interest, it will help you to assign the right job to the right man.
A woman?
Yeah. A right woman as well. Yeah. Right. A right person. I'll edit that. Next, process. One of my important factor. So you know the skill sets, you know the stuff. Now what? What's that? Ooh. Who got it here? Any guesses? What's that? Okay. So this is the name of the dish is dhokla. It's tangy. It's spongy, with rectangle in shape, made of some fantastic ingredients, and it tastes awesome. So you guys are welcome to have it with me whenever you guys plan to visit India. But why I'm showing this thing, coming to our talk, here are the ingredients that are used to prepare this thing. Right. But again, why I'm showing you this thing? Let's come to the point. So this is the combination that I'm trying to make it out. Consider that dish as a project, ingredients as the needful skills, and the process used to prepare that dish, so does the process you use to deliver the project. So a tasty healthy dish would be a combination of good ingredients used in a proper manner with the right process. So does a rightful project, a successful delivery would be a combination of not just skills but also the right process. That's the point I was trying to convey. It's about the usage of them. Like if I use everything in the right shape, and if I misusing the salt, I mean, it will ruin every effort that I put in. So every piece of process do matter. Have that clarified in the right manner. I'll talk more about that. Another part of the process is get the checklist ready. Now this is one of my very favorite part, that any project that we work upon, we always make sure that we have that default checklist ready with us. So the checklist, depending on how you guys are working or you guys plan to work, have that in place, which means it could be an onboarding checklist. For example, okay, we would like to go for these 3 people and we have finalized the arrangements. Now have that checklist ready so you can checkbox that, okay, what will be the execution process, the factors like but not limited to. Work timings. What are your work timings? What are your lunch breaks? What are your available timings? So for example, the work timings could be till 11 o'clock Kansas time. However, could be available for session till 1 o'clock. Okay, good to know those timings. What are the ticketing system? What is the project management tool? What are the communication tools? Who will be the point of contacts from both ends? What are the code versioning tools? What are the testing acceptance criteria? When would gonna stand-ups happen? Who would gonna plan the sprints? Who would gonna approve the sprints? So know them all. Have that checklist ready. So there is no space for assumption. I thought, I assumed. No. Have that checklist ready to ensure that things get done as per your expectations. Okay. Am I making some right sense to you guys? Did you like that stuff so far? Cool. This is my very first 45-minute session, so I might be a little nervous. Please, I put in efforts to make more connected stuff. Okay, the next point is human. So we covered technical skills, we covered process. Now we are covering the next point, which is human factor with the remote team member. What is the most common thing we all have? Not just in this room, but any. Huh?
We have to sleep.
Okay. Yes. True. Well, we all have mom, we all have dad, so there could be many common things. Like, I was referring to perhaps difference is the most common thing we will have, right? Now, coming to my point of humans, why I've told you this. Everything we do is for humans and is with the help of humans. So, with that thought, let's work out the very first thing. Connect with them. Take charge. You have chosen to work with them. They did not get that luxury to choose you as a client. Right. They accepted because that's their bread and butter. They want to work somewhere so they can earn their livelihood. You have got that luxury to choose from the available options. So take that charge. How would you do that? How would you connect with them? Start with simple factors like know their birthday, wish them birthday. If they got baby delivered, like in one of my colleague, he became father recently last week. So he wanted to be in hospital with his wife, and the moment our client came to know, and he was like, "What are you doing here? Go to hospital with your wife." I'm like, "Well, I have some work. It's okay. We are in no rush." So now that inspired him to work on Saturday, and he's working today. I mean, no, I need to finish my work. It was not demanded, but he did that. I'll come to that factor. So talk to them about their birthdays, their culture, their food, anniversary, maybe work anniversary, maybe wedding anniversary. Make that connection. Once in a while, I'm not talking about keep talking about this thing only every time that you have sprints planning or scrum calls or scrum meetings. No, but at least connect with them in any sense that you can. Exactly how would you do with your in-house members? Right? You will obviously wish them birthday, congratulate them. So do the same thing with them. Make them feel connected. In the previous point, you guys have taken that lead. You guys have taken that charge to break that ice, so they become a little more comfortable in talking something apart from the project updates as well. So now let them take that charge, let them take that lead, let them share their experiences. Oh, we went on a trekking over this weekend and that was amazing experience. Oh, we went for a swimming class, I'm trying to learn swimming, or whatever. Let them also open up, let them take that lead. A friendly relation goes long distance. They would not hesitate or extend work timings or jump into the fire when the situation demands. This is exactly what happened with us last week. No, go to hospital. It's okay. It can wait. And he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Straight away went to hospital, and then he was like, "Oh, I think I can manage the work stuff, complete the sprint still while working on the Saturday." All right, go for it. A friendly relation definitely will go a long distance. Give them ownership. Every mature person would love that freedom to utilize their experience and recommendations to deliver right outcomes, or at times great outcomes, rather than following the instructions blindly. Give them that level of ownership. Hold them accountable. Make them understand success, you are responsible, failure, you are responsible. Give them that level of ownership. Do not curse them. Do criticize them. Do not curse them. Now, that comes to the next point. Appreciate. Good words would make anybody's day and inspire them to do more and better. And do appreciate in public. Criticize in person, in private, appreciate in public. Why in public? They feel good, they feel valued, and they sense the raised expectations from your end and put in efforts to meet or exceed them. When you appreciate them publicly, they will have that public public perception of the team members that, oh wow, now this guy is capable of delivering at certain level. Those level of expectations are being now raised. So she or he will try to maintain or exceed those things. So appreciate publicly, give feedback in private. That's another point as well. We'll be coming to that.
And don't forget that on a chat channel, it's not necessarily private.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure that it's a private channel. Because I've been dressed down.
It's in private chat.
In the chat channel. And they forgot, the person at the other end forgot that everybody on the team was listening to the same chat channel.
Ah,
It was horrible. It
that's
did not happen at VML.
that's
That's good to know.
disappointing. I mean,
You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've seen everything you've said so far.
wow, that's
Good
awesome.
and bad. Good and bad. And you've got some good stuff.
Great, good to know. Thanks, that made my day. So we have this kudos culture in our organization, wherein if anything deserves some kudos, it's not only purely from management but also from the colleagues, whether junior or senior. Wherein if few people get some assistance from their colleagues over the weekend, like sales people got some assistance from senior level devs, Monday, first thing they will just give kudos in the general channel. I would like to thank this person for making himself available over the weekend, over just a call, to help me address clients' queries, or the support guy, anything. So appreciate publicly. It's just a matter of you making yourself accustomed to the chatting tool that you are using. You know that, okay, you are typing in channel, you will be careful. But if you are talking in person, you know, okay, hey, you goofed up. Make sure you don't repeat it, learn from it, take preventive measures, move on, kind of thing. Cool. Let's have a quick look at few of the interesting quotes related to the team, the human factors. I strongly believe that if you can laugh together, you can work together. Well, you will laugh together only when you have that, you need to make that bond to make it happen, to reach to this stage wherein you guys can laugh together. So make that bond. A snowflake is one of the God's most fragile creations, but look what they can do when they are sticking together. So that's the value of the team. Make them instill the feeling of we instead of me and you. It's we who are doing together. It's not the different snowflakes. It's a collective set of snowflakes which are making it happen. The speed of the boss is the speed of the team. So you have to value what you have got and make sure they perform. Helen Keller says, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Few of the interesting quotes that I liked about. Now that brings me to the last point of communication. So we talked about technical skills, we talked about process, we talked about human factors. Now we'll talk about communication. So far, are you guys able to relate with what I'm saying? Cool. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is the root of the problem, the core of the problem, and this is the core of the solution. Communication is the problem, communication is the solution. How? Let's take a look. Leaves. Whether planned leaves or holidays, communicate well. National holidays in this region, in this geography, would be different than national holidays at in other geography. So make sure that you communicate well that, hey guys, we will not be available on these days. Share your national holiday calendars. We do that with every of our clients. Apart from that, we make sure that we remind them at least 3 weeks, second reminder 2 weeks, third reminder 1 week ago, before the holidays come in. So they have clarity about the national holidays the moment we start working with them, and then we would still send them the reminders and notifications that, hey, plan the sprints accordingly that we would not be available. Having said that, do we have a backup plan? What if there is any business critical urgency comes in? In India, we have one of the biggest festivals as Diwali. So it's a festival of lights. So that is where we become it becomes a little difficult for us to manage, but still few of the people step up and they say, we would be available in the case of critical urgencies. We will make ourselves available. We know the importance of our involvement into the project. Don't worry. Although we are closed on those days, but we have as a backup, would make sure that we are available. So have that backup ready as well. Make them aware about the broader plan, the broader picture. If you make them aware about this bigger picture, it would help them to understand the client's vision and expectations, the client's likes and dislikes. Share those thoughts with them, because you meet the client or you talk to client in a more regular manner rather than they would be, because they are working as per your instructions or as per your guidance. So you need to understand that you share those bigger picture and vision as well with them. Rephrase. One of my favorite things that I've learned since 2005. Always rephrase. Get things rephrased for better understanding. Now it could be due to communication accent, it could be that email was not clear enough, it could be that the ticket was not clear enough, it could be anything. So rephrase. Okay, this is what I've understood. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is what you are expecting. This is how the flow would gonna be. This is where we need to show this thing. Am I correct? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So make sure that you ask them to rephrase, or make sure that you rephrase that you have understood their approach properly. Okay, so you plan to take this approach in this manner. Fair enough. That serves our purpose. Identify their strengths and loose ends. So what they know well, capitalize on them. Identify their loose ends, what they are lacking. Are they saying yes to everything, or are they trying to play defensive in everything? Are they hesitant to take that ownership? Are they hesitant to take that leadership? Are they hesitant to learn something new? Or are they not a good team player? Or any loose end that you have identified. Identify and talk to them. Now that brings to the next point, which is provide candid feedbacks to them. You are friendly, you have connected them with as a human, you have considered them as a part of your team, everything is fine. But provide candid feedbacks wherever they are lacking. Friendliness should not hamper the work quality or the outcome of the work. If that doesn't solve the problem, update their managers. It's not about backbiting, it's about making sure that you do justice with the right project, you do right justice with the project. So do provide candid feedbacks. That's very important. Check for their interest and if they want to enhance their skills base. For example, if you have identified that they are more inclined towards front end, check for their interest and identify that, then ask them to enhance, maybe ask them to join some video tutorials so they can polish up in their interest. And when you support them in the interest that they want to pursue their further career in, they will at least give it a try and try to become the right set of team member who can add value. But if you don't identify or if you don't check for their interest, I mean, they would feel isolated, that okay, I want to go for front end work, but I'm still keep on getting the back end stuff which I'm not any more interested in, or vice versa or anything like that. So do make sure that you check for their interest, and if they want to enhance their existing knowledge base, support them, encourage them, give them some time for that. Having said that, contribution. Encourage them for contribution. So if that is not their interest, try to push them. Yes, we literally pushed our people in the initial days when we started contributing way back in 2015. But now it has become a part of our work culture, wherein people have developed that vision of contribution. So encourage them for this contribution, or at least instill that contribution-centric approach in them, so they understand the importance of contribution and maybe start contributing some fine day. Do's: respect people, know their skills, Organize them with the right process. Don't disrespect. Don't criticize publicly. Don't assume. Communicate and clarify. So what we observed till now, it's the combination of all that makes it a successful partnership. Now it could be a business to business partnership, it could be a business to a remote employee partnership. Especially the remote partnerships is what I'm referring to. Not everything can be done remotely. Any example that you would like to bring out? Haircut? You have to visit. A baby birth? It has to be delivered in a hospital. It cannot be done remotely. A hug. It cannot be done remotely. So, our experience. Embrace the difference. Everybody has something good to offer. Give them that level of opportunity and observe if they are capitalizing on that trust that you have put in, capitalizing on that opportunity that you have given to them. Embrace that difference. Make them a part. Delegate ownership into them. Communicate well. And I mean it, I repeat, communicate well. Do not assume, rephrase things, communicate well. Set the right expectations about timelines, about project vision, about skills, about code quality, about standards, about process, about POCs, everything. Set the right expectations so they don't get surprised. Oh, I wasn't aware that I'm supposed to do this thing in that manner, or oh, I was supposed to do this thing. Set right expectations. Cool. So today after lunch we have a group photograph. Be ready, guys. It's a good group photograph today. It's a culture. Contributions spends all day. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 2 rooms, 237 and 238. This is 238. 237 is next to this. Thank you. Anything where I can improvise, any points that I missed, or any questions you would like to ask? All ears. Yes, please.
I just wondered if you had an example of that checklist that you mentioned.
Yeah, we do have. I can mail you.
Yeah.
Cool,
Okay.
sure, why not? Yeah, we have onboarding checklist. I'll mail you that. We can connect offline.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe I can maybe
Yeah.
give the link to everybody so they can, I'll just prepare a Google spreadsheet and share it with everybody and open-ended. Yeah.
Do you have tips for how to kind of work with cultural differences as far as sometimes the critique or feedback? Because sometimes what I've noticed with remote workers in a few of the cultures is that as far as taking the feedback, sometimes the way that we give it, it comes across, it's like it's lost in translation, and so someone feels like they're being berated, or they take it as if they were being berated, but it wasn't meant that way, or they don't provide critical feedback because they don't want to feel like they're speaking ill of someone. I'm like, but you don't know that there's a problem unless you've expressed that, hey, this isn't quite working out. But like, how do you encourage that? How do you encourage them to come forward that way when culturally it's been more, let's be nice to everyone?
Yeah. So in India, like in especially, that's a very good question. In India, we have this culture of not saying no. You know, because we have been brought up in an environment wherein we have been unconsciously taught that if you say no to someone, they might feel offended, they might feel bad. Now, coming from that level of upbringing, it does impact that professional work environment as well. So your intentions are right. You want to make sure that the feedback benefits the project at large. However, how that person is taking, now that is a very cultural aspect that you rightly mentioned. we usually make people aware to take those feedbacks, absorb them, respond to them instead of reacting to that. So we make people aware that don't react to anything that is going negative. Absorb those comments, absorb that feedback, take your time and respond to that. There are chances that they might go wrong, there are chances that they are wrong. We just need some time to respond in a proper manner. Anything negative is not wrong, take it in a constructive manner. I receive at times negative feedbacks about the team members, so I never complain to them that okay, hey, this is what we have received, it's absolutely fine, we are humans, let's talk solution, identify the problems and talk solution. You cannot eliminate this completely because it's a big cultural gap, right, because of the upbringing, because of the background, you cannot eliminate that. The person at the receiving end need to be mature enough to understand the importance of the feedback, which is not to a person, which is not against a person, but which is for the betterment of the project. If that receptive person understands the importance of that level of feedback, I believe there is no problem with that. I mean, I do the same.
So you think like more trying to make sure that the emphasis is on, hey, this part of the process is something that we need to improve and we can do it like this. Would that possibly be like better received?
Yes. Emphasis on what? Do not emphasis on who.
Right.
You know, when we argue, like when we get into an argument, the problem becomes when we start blaming the person instead of the problem. What went wrong or who did wrong. So do not argue who did wrong. It might be Ashish did wrong, but what was the wrong thing that happened?
Right.
Focus on what. Do not focus on who. It could be anybody. So we try to avoid those personal conflicts. Even I have it with my CTO, and I share it openly with my team members. We are close to 100 team members, and I always make it public that I always have conflicts with my CTO, but those are not the personal conflicts. Those are the conflicts of thoughts with a common goal, project benefit at large. So it has to be. So we have built that culture when people feel mature enough to understand the negative feedback in a constructive manner.
What about them encouraging them to provide a critical feedback?
That's still a challenge for me. That's still a challenge for me. I'm trying to, you know, we have this Friday chit chat meetings wherein I make sure that okay, whatever project that you guys are handling, give me the honest feedback about how the client POCs are doing. So I can take it ahead. I can become your voice. You might be hesitant because you are an employee and you might feel, oh, we might lose a client or a project if we talk negatively. We are supposed to just follow their instructions. No, be a part of the project. So I do take their candid feedback. It's about how you present that. You know, yesterday's keynote was also about this, how you present that in front of the person. That would make all the difference. So if I say, hey, you are doing a shitty stuff, stop doing it, they'll say, okay, do well, I'm going to work with some other company. You cannot talk to me like this. But if you say, hey, seems there are something good points that we can improvise to benefit the project at large, to utilize the money that you are putting in an optimal manner. Oh yeah, let's talk about them. What are they? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you appear in the meeting on time. Second thing, you need to make sure that you follow the sprint plan. So, you know, you are not blaming that person, but you are saying that what needs to be improvised. So he understands, oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'll make a note and make sure that I appear on meeting on time. I provide my timely feedback so sprints can be delivered on time. So instead of targeting a person, I'm targeting the what needs to be improved. That does happen, but our people, they directly don't take it to the clients. They will always discuss with me, hey Ashish, there are some problems in this project. It's difficult to get hold of client feedback on time and we are running late on sprints. What to do? So it happens.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I think at one point you said that the speed of the team is limited by the speed of the boss.
Yeah.
So
the speed of the boss is defined by the speed of the team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So other way around. So I didn't know which one you meant. Like, okay, but you're saying like the team is what makes the boss fast or slow.
Yeah, I mean, because you are leading. See, remote team members predominantly. Remote team members would be reporting to you. Like, and if you are working with remote team members, so you would be leading them. That's the major work system wherein chances are less that I would be reporting to a manager who's working from home and I'm working from office. And in our work culture, like wherein we work from India, we usually report to product owners or project managers from client's end or senior architects or architects. So we have developers, mid to senior, and they report to the clients. So that person's speed, that person's outcome would be defined by how the team performs.
Sure. Okay, cool, thank you.
Nothing else, guys? Cool. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently. Thank you.